Hey there, folks. Happy Monday to you. This is Chuck Holton, and I'm in Panama. Just got back from the Dominican Republic, and I'm getting ready to go on another trip here shortly, which I'll explain in a minute. Just wanted to touch base because I've been creating so much content, just not a ton for the podcast, and I want you to know that I haven't forgotten about you, and there's a lot happening. Just to recap, last week we made a quick trip to the Dominican Republic to do some reporting on Haiti and the immigration issue between Haiti and the DR. It's kind of an outgrowth of the new program by the Biden administration to parole or to allow up to 30,000 Haitians, Cubans, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans into the United States per month. And that what that's doing is it's causing a tidal wave of people trying to get to the United States to take advantage of that program, even though that's not exactly how the program works. It's more like a TSA for migrants and a pre-check, just lets them make the do the paperwork and get approved to come into the United States before they arrive at the U.S. southern border. And that's so the Biden administration can claim that they have solved the problem of the massive wave of illegal migrants crossing the U.S. southern border. But the only way they solved it is by just pre-legalizing all those people, 120,000 people a month. In the Dominican Republic, that's causing quite a problem because so many Haitians have to go to the DR first before they can get out of there, off the island, so to speak. And a lot of them have to spend some time in the DR to get the paperwork that they need to leave, because they have to leave by plane. If they don't have any paperwork, any passport or anything like that, it could take them years before they actually get the paperwork they need and the money that they need in order to be able to leave and head to the U.S. Right now, about 20% or about 25% of everyone in the DR is Haitian, and the vast majority of those are illegals. So it was an interesting week spent there in the DR, and seeing that. You can see some of the previous content that I've made. If you are not hearing the podcasts, if you're not seeing them show up on Apple Podcasts, or if you're typically listening to the podcast, I would recommend that you go over to YouTube and look up about the Hot Zone. And that way you can see what we're doing, but also if you want to listen to them there, we're putting a lot more content up on YouTube because that's where we've got the most listeners. So it was an interesting week for sure in the Dominican Republic, although I didn't think the DR was all that great. I wouldn't go back there on vacation or anything, but it was interesting. I am preparing right now to go to Washington, D.C. to speak before a roundtable discussion committee, I don't know what you call it, for the Center for Immigration Studies on migration. And then that same day, I'm going to leave and go to Poland and then into Ukraine for a week. Coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the invasion, and so I've got a lot of work to do making packages and content about the 1-year anniversary. I'll put some of that up on the podcast as well. Stay tuned for that. I will spend about a week in Ukraine, more or less, depending on what's going on. I'm guessing probably about a week. And then we'll head to Armenia to do some reporting on the conflict there with them and Azerbaijan over the Lachin corridor. After I get finished with that, my plan is to head back to Panama. So there's a lot of stuff coming up. Stay tuned. I'm running a trip to Armenia in June, and I would highly recommend that you join us on that trip. It's open for all comers. I will put the link in the description here, and you can join us on that trip. You might think, like, who goes to Armenia? Why would I ever want to go to Armenia? Let me tell you something. Armenia, of all the countries I've ever been to, is the most adventurous and beautiful country. And it's really amazing. And it is everything that you wish Europe would be, but it isn't anymore because of the unchecked migration into Europe. And so it's a clean, safe, cheap country, absolutely beautiful, a lot like a movie set for Lord of the Rings or something like that. So I highly recommend you come along with us. That's June 20th through the 30th. We're also going to be debuting my documentary about Armenia while we're there, assuming I can get the documentary finished. I've got so much else to do. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And you can keep up on everything I'm doing over at chuckholton.locals.com. You can subscribe there and get some subscriber-only content, a lot of stuff that I am not allowed to put out there for the general public. I put there privately on Locals, and you can see it first if you're a subscriber. Thanks for watching. We'll see you.